And we are live.
What it do? It's another Monday. You're rolling with your boy Sixxcess and Jezebel the Truth. What it do, Jezebel?
What is up? I look like a deer in headlights. Sister need to get it together.
I
How
mean,
are
like,
you?
yeah, you on CPT time today. It's all right. It's all right. What's been going on this Monday? What's been going on today?
Um, Geez, I have no clue, honestly, because my ass have been knocked out all day. I don't know if it's the weather or
Yeah.
what, but
What you do? What you do yesterday?
what was yesterday? Sunday?
Yep.
Oh, I went to brunch
Ah.
at Farmers Distillers. Um, yeah, pretty much planning for this Gucci Man and Jeezy battle coming up.
Man, let me tell you about it.
Yeah,
So I was really expecting the T.I. and Jeezy battle, man. I was looking forward to the Snowman versus the King. But then I seen that it was Gucci Man, the Burr, versus Jeezy, the Snowman.
um,
So I had to reweigh my whole opinions on that battle there. Now, you ready for this battle, huh?
I am because as you can see, Jeezy dropped T.I. like some hot fries to battle Gucci. So
Yeah,
this
he
is gonna
did.
be something big. A lot of people are saying it's big for the culture because they've been beefing for years.
Man, you
Me
know what?
personally.
Like, all of them. That's what I was like. They all beefing, but they old now. You know what I'm saying? It's like beefing when you're in high school. Like, do you still beef when you see the person in the street?
I mean, I feel like they still don't like each other, but there's money involved. So when there's money involved, people kind of
Calm
tend.
down a little bit,
Um,
man. Like, what's crazy is I'm thinking about on my life, right? I'm like, do I got anybody that I'm beefing with from high school that I'm still beefing with? Let's say a good 10-year beef, you know. And I had to roll through my Rolodex of beefs, you know.
your
I
Rolodex,
Yeah, like
your Rolodex of beef.
I went through my beef folder, you know, and I said, all right, let's see, you know, and I started looking at all the people that I was beefing with over my lifetime, and I went through my whole lifespan with this beef folder because it's not really that extensive, but it is a folder nonetheless. So I was thinking there's probably maybe one or two people on my beef list that I don't care how much money involved, they couldn't get me to sit down in a room with them.
Really, even still to this day?
Yep, still to this day.
Oh
And
wow.
I am prepared to take that with me. I'm prepared to take those beefs with me until I go.
Oh
I'm
no.
prepared to carry them. I'm prepared to carry them. Some people say beefs are like weights on your back. But
Yeah.
so I am willing to get rid of all my beefs except for those two.
Oh wow.
They they gotta see me. They gotta see me.
I can't even think of anybody that I'm still. I mean, that I really. I don't know.
You just can't stand on sight.
Not right now. Not from high school. I know there's a lot of people that feel that way about me, but
Well, there you go. I mean, like it can't be one-sided beefs now.
I don't feel the same way about. I mean, I know. I mean, there's probably a girl from junior high that still don't like me. But
Yeah.
me and her never had an issue. It was her and my friend. I was just talking about it the other day. I was like, man, this girl never had an issue.
Right.
Her and my friend had an issue, but that was junior high, and up until now, like her brother was trying to talk to me, and she's just like, oh, like why are you talking to her? Like, still don't like me? Like, what the fuck?
From
Like, I
middle
did
school.
from middle school, Paul Junior High School, yes.
So like it's crazy because all of my middle school beefs, none of them are no longer here.
The people.
Yeah. I don't have to worry about that. You know what I'm
Rest
saying?
in peace.
It's
Shit.
crazy. Like if I beef with you, you're on the other side of the track. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like good versus evil. Like I think of myself like a superhero at times. You
Okay.
know, it's like sometimes you get those people that just need a good thrashing, a good beefing. You know,
I
so I
just
mean
said the
it's
other
cool.
day. Some people just need their ass beat. Like I was talking to my homegirl yesterday, and I was like, I've been very nice these days. And it's like, it's not that I'm a punk, it's just that I've grown. But some people just need their motherfucking ass beat. Like,
let me tell you, like, it's crazy because, like, you don't have any children.
Nope.
So, I have 5, right? And I always asked myself when I got older, was me being too nice rubbing off on my kids? You know what I'm saying? Because, like, my dad was a hard ass. You know what I'm saying? Like my dad, I mean, like, he'd probably whoop my ass. No, not probably. He would have whooped my ass if I looked right at the wrong time. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, wow, yeah.
There was a good ass whooping to be got. You feel me?
Yeah.
But see, I never like questioned or challenged my father on the ass whooping because I seen him whoop ass in the streets. So it wasn't like he just whooping on me because I'm a kid.
Yeah.
Maybe I deserved it. Maybe I didn't. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really care. I just hated the fact that I was on the receiving end of an ass whooping, right? So I pretty much projected that. Now, older, I'm a nice guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm nice. I'm like, hey, what's up, guys? What's up, guys? Hey, friends, buddies, pals, whatever, you know? And now my kids are the same way.
Oh,
you know, so like it'd be interesting to see how they would, like, one of my sons is a rapper now. Lord, I hope he doesn't ever get into a beef. Those will be interesting to see.
Because you think they're just too nice?
They're too nice. They're too nice. My kids are the type of kids. My kids type of kids is like, here, take it. You know, we're good. We'll get another one.
Yeah, that's probably what you think, but probably when you're not looking around, they're probably like, I beat your motherfucking ass.
You know what? Like, I look, that would make me so proud. You know what I'm saying? That would make me so proud. Like, so now back onto the versus scene, right? How about, I just seen a flyer that T.I. has been passed around again like a whore to now Lil Wayne.
Yeah, somebody asked about that. I think him and 50 Cent should go.
Listen, so now what you projected may happen is that yet again T.I. could be passed up for a projected better battle for him.
Yeah.
Now my question is there anybody that can battle T.I. at this point? I think that what T.I. should do is the very first self versus T.I. versus Tip. And that's what he should do. I think
what is up with that? Like, cause I was like, yeah, he should battle 2 Chainz. They was like, nah, 2 Chainz battle Rick Ross. I was like, oh, he should battle somebody. They was like, no, that person already battled. I was like, oh shit, like everybody.
it's like we don't know, like, honestly. So what I'm learning from this versus is we're able to put artists and we're able to find out where they really are in their, like, respect chain. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like the only verses that I kind of was like, why the fuck are we doing this? Was that one with the 2 old people, like when it was Gladys Knight and Patti LaBelle?
I love them. Hold on.
Oh my God. Did you enjoy the part when they brought out Dionne Warwick? I said to myself, now these mugs that brought out Dionne Warwick, and you know, I was raised right. I can't disrespect 2 old ladies. You feel me? So I'm watching that versus the whole time because my wife literally watches every single versus, all the surround sounds throughout the house. Wherever you go, you're hearing whatever's going on the verses. So I'm watching this Patti LaBelle and Gladys Knight versus. Let me put on the record that I like verses for what it's doing because I understand it from a business standpoint. And it's giving artists realize something to look forward to, giving them that concert feel, you know what I'm saying? And they're doing numbers that, you know damn well 100,000 people would not have walked into the Patti LaBelle concert or Gladys Knight.
I would have went. Yeah, I love me some Patti. I love me some Gladys.
Yeah, but not 100,000 to use. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
Not would have bought a ticket. that would have been our grandmamas and our aunties and shit like that. We'd have been like, yo, y'all looking real church tonight. They had their big hats on and shit. We wouldn't have went to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, not our age group, but we tuned into it, right?
Yeah.
So now I'm like, okay, I get this versus. Like, when they brought out Dionne Warwick, I was sold. You feel me? I was like, yo,
who she battle?
No, she was with them. She just sang in the middle. She just, I think she was there to to tell them who was going to win before it was over. Because she's a psychic. I didn't. Now listen. Now I'm proud that I'm this young that I don't remember Dionne Warwick as a singer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I remember her as a psychic, like Miss Cleo.
Yeah, I remember her as a singer more so, but because my auntie had, I think, one of her albums or something like that. And then she's Whitney Houston's auntie. So
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So now let me tell you what the real deal with Versus is. Because a lot of artists are not understanding what is really happening on the back end and why Versus is super, super important. Versus, right now, we got a lot of the artists that are doing it are backed by the labels. So they're trying to see how relevant these artists are and still are, you know, because a lot of these artists are working on new albums in a new era of digital, and it's kind of like the new artists, the new era artists, they understand the game, they understand the business way more than any artist from 10 years and back, you know.
All right, so with that being said, then Busta Rhymes, T.I. should never passed up Busta. Have you heard his new album?
Trash.
You don't like it?
Garbage.
Really?
Every single goddamn song.
You know.
But look though, let me tell you.
You're not a Busta fan? You never liked Busta for real?
I like Busta's catalog. I do. However, I'm not a Busta fan. Okay. Busta to me is a collab artist. He's an artist best featured or featuring. Mm-hmm. Like me personally, it's not Busta per se as opposed to production. Mm-hmm. I'm a production person. I've never been a big fan of to me, I've never been a big fan of that whole New York sound of music. You know what I'm saying? That Wu-Tang Clan and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong.
But that's funny because a lot of your, I would say a lot of your music, but some of your music gives me an up north feel though.
Yes, because me, I'm still an amateur, although I do professional. I try to be professional. You know what I'm saying?
How dare you say that?
Yes. No, listen. Until there's a big investor paying my bills for me to do it, I'm an amateur. I make money doing it, but I'm still an amateur. You know what I'm saying? Every department has it, even amateur boxers. Until you get somebody like Floyd Mayweather Money Team and 50 Cent and Artem or whatever they are, it is what it is. But so realistically, when I'm making music, I'm like boom boom. You know what I'm saying? Throwing rocks or ponds. You know what I'm saying? Rocks in the pond. I'm just trying to, you know, make a little ripple wave. So I'm just showing like my eclecticness or range, because to me, I'm in a lot now with being I just told the wife earlier I'm a celebrity. But now with being a celebrity, you're
ain't nothing wrong with that.
No, listen, look. So I'm gonna tell you why I say that in a second. You know what I'm saying? So bring me back to that. But now with being a celebrity, I'm learning that I'm exposed to different types of lives, right? So when you realize that you're in different types of lives, they'll tell you their best is always someone different. You see what I'm saying? Like
they'll tell you their best
in this circle. So like in New York, they're gonna tell you, shit, my favorite rapper is Jay-Z. He's the #1 rapper, or 50 Cent, or Nicki Minaj, or somebody from that New York area, right? You go down south, they're like, man, what? Jay-Z, nah, it's Lil Wayne, it's 2 Chainz, it's, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. So wherever you go, every circle has who they feel like is the greatest or the best, right? So now me as an artist, because I'm like I said, I'm Mr. Nice Guy now. I'm not like when I was younger, like this is my clique. So my clique, my crew, we're gonna hang. I'm from Forest Creek. Don't come around here if you ain't from Forest Creek, right? Now I'm like, hey, what any neighborhood, I'm hanging in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, what up, dudes? What up, bro? What up, Brody? What up, Brody? You know what I'm saying? I'm in the neighborhood. So now whenever I go back to the neighborhood, I always wanted to be the guy. I always want to be the guy, like, listen to this. So I'm like, all right, bet I know if I know they like that New York sound, I may work on something to play around that crowd, you know, like to be cool, and vice versa. So it's people that say, dog, you sound like you from Cali. You sound like you from Atlanta. It sound like you from. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'm just that, you know what I'm saying? I'm just Sixxcess.
You got to be diverse in your music, though.
Exactly, man. Shoot, you know who opened my eyes to that was Lil Wayne.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? When he was doing all them collabs. And it was like, it didn't matter what genre.
Yeah.
I was like, we was 1 second away from hearing Lil Wayne on a straight jazz record.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? With Satchmo and Louis and all of them, it was gonna be featuring Lil Wayne. Like that's how he was going.
He definitely talked about that. I don't know if he was at the Drink Champs, or he had an interview recently where he was talking about how he wanted to get into rock and how he did, and he was like, and then I was really, really good at it, and you know, all this other stuff.
But like the thing about it, like, good at it is a mind frame. You know, like you can be bad at everything in the world that you do, but with the right support system, you'll never ever know that you're bad. And the thing about it is, someone asked me last week, do you promote bad music?
What do you mean promote bad music?
Yeah, that's what he asked me. Do I promote bad music? Like, do I listen to it? Do I share it? Do I like it? Or things like that, right? So I told him, I said, who are we? Who are we to call a song bad? I
always say that though.
I said, like I say that I didn't like the Busta album. You know what I'm saying? And that's I never say.
You said it was trash, but I want to know.
That's my personal opinion.
Why do you feel like it was trash? Because honestly, like, probably because I'm a Busta fan, though. I didn't hear the entire album. I heard like 2 or 3 songs, and I'm like, okay, I'm fucking with this.
So like I skimmed through it, right? And the first time I skimmed through it, I was like, and then I called around to all my, like, everybody. I called around. I was like, yo, you hear the Busta Rhymes album? And everyone was like, yo, this joint is fire. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, damn. I got on Facebook like, y'all hear the Busta album? Everybody was like, yo, it's fire. So I went back and listened to it again, right? And then I tried to listen to it subjectively, and I was like, nah, I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, I think with being an artist, you don't, it's very rare. When I was DJing was the very first time in my life, and literally in my life, because when I was younger, it was always Kurt Franklin. And then I heard a pop song. I heard maybe Brenda's Got a Baby. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, hold on. Like, so I started sneaking and listening to pop, you know? Pac got killed, and I was still listening to only pop, you know? Every once in a while, some of my friends would come by and throw in some Cash Money stuff, or maybe some No Limit stuff, and my response was always trash. You know what I'm saying? And
okay, you're one of those.
Right. So then I stumbled across Kanye West, and I was like, oh, this is, you know what I'm saying? So I'm one of those type of people with my ears. Like, if it's not a certain sound, then I already just like, you know what I'm saying? Then my thing is, I'm a growth person. You know what I'm saying? So I like that an artist has their lane and be comfortable with that.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I am an artist, I feel like, okay, they have their lane and they're comfortable with that, so they're selling to their fans.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like you said, you're a Busta fan, so like he already knows what sonics to hit you with you know what I'm saying, what tones you like. And if he would have changed it up, you probably would have been like, dang, why he changed? I want the old Busta back.
No, he did change it up. I didn't get a lot of the. See, I love the Busta Twista I like fast rap too, though. Like I like when they barely take a breath.
That Twista stuff.
That's what I was looking forward to with the Busta. So I need to really listen to his album to see if he gave me that. But that song that I heard, I was actually in the house chilling, and I heard his voice on TV, and I was like, hold on, wait. And I looked, and then I was like, oh, okay, that's just Busta Rhymes. But then I heard the sound, and I was like, no, that's new. And then I looked at the date, and it said 2020, and I was like, oh, yeah, Busta is delivering. Like, T.I., you talk about something, you ain't want that battle. I think you should have took that, because don't nobody else want that with you.
Man, look, nobody gonna battle T.I. T.I. battled himself. You know what I'm saying? That's nobody gonna battle T.I. And for real, like, I don't know if the Wayne and T.I. battle was a good match. You know what I'm saying? Because like T.I. just ain't that time in jail hurt him. You know, like that whole little situation with that hurt him. So he gonna always have that stain on him. And like these young niggas call him an informant. They call him the criminal informant.
Wait a minute. Let's get into this. Because now that you're talking about T.I., let's talk about how his comments about Lil Von. And basically about how people need to stop bringing their beefs to Atlanta and kill each other elsewhere. How do you feel about him saying that? Especially being as though it's so sensitive right now.
The sad thing is, like, I don't understand why T.I. felt like he was in a position to say that. Now, when you're not in a city, right? Mm-hmm. Like in D.C., Maryland, I follow the DMV Murderland shit, right? Mm-hmm. They dying every day.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And down here in Atlanta, there's a killing of another rapper or a security or somebody in the club almost every day. You know what I'm saying? A different club. So for him to step up and say that is like, oh, I'm cool with all the people killing each other in your own city, but don't travel and kill. That messes it up for all of us.
That's what he basically is saying, like, you know, protect Atlanta, protect his Wakanda.
But this is the same guy who had a freaking RPG and C4 on the road, traveling with guns and all types of stuff, because he understands where he's from. Mm-hmm. And mind you, the reason why his comments are totally baseless and inappropriate is because Quando Rondo is from Georgia. So King Von is here working. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, they both working. That's why they out there. Because again, like, that's the job when you're a new artist. And like I said, these new artists are way smarter than the artists before us. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna hit those little clubs. They're gonna pop up in those lounges. They're gonna take the risk because they're getting 100%. They're getting all of their money. You know what I'm saying? And they're trying to maximize, because when you're a King Von and you coming from Chicago, 26 is an old man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So in their mind, I gotta get as much as fast as possible. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Even Quando Rondo, he comes from down in Savannah, Georgia, been in and out of jail, seen his folks getting killed and shit like that. So these new niggas, they understand, like, nah, you teach me the game, I'm gonna run with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people don't understand, like, they see them with a lot of pounds of weed and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of these niggas get all that shit for their own consumption.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they're understanding how to flip the rap game. to a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And by them doing that, they're becoming targets to not just the industry, but all the powers that be. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been saying this all week, and this is about to blow up the damn internet.
What?
These labels that are backing these artists are behind everything that happens to these niggas when they die. Like, there's no type of value put on these artists in their life because they're so smart. You know why?
As soon as they die.
I mean, you know why none of these old artists, besides the Pac and the Biggies, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. But you know why none of these old artists getting gunned down and stuff like that? Because the labels own so much of their stuff and need them to do so much stuff, you know? And the label and these artists, these big artists, they've already earned the fact to like buy their masters back and have security. They don't have to get the clout, so they don't have to put themselves in the risk. You know what I'm saying? Like you would hear more about Future being attacked or attempted of 2 Chainz and being attempted if they had to pop up in clubs every night.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like they got their masters, so they doing the joint like a whole nother way. But these new rappers, they coming in already getting the masters, already getting the publishing, and they like, nah, I want to just run it up. You know, I want to run it up as fast as possible. I want to get some new chains, some new cars, because they probably they spend most of their tour money on that stuff. You know, so the idea is to flip. The older artists, they didn't understand that, and now they're starting to understand it now. But mind you, the people that's coming in already understand it because they are giving the game. They're giving the game as they got screwed.
But and a lot of people, I mean, I've been hearing a lot that a lot of these rappers are worth more dead than they are alive.
Come on, that's the proof. Look. XXXTentacion was doing 350,000 streams a month before he died. He went up to 1 billion plus after. King Von gonna jump to 1 billion streams. He on his way to 1 billion. And now, I mean, like
this
the
guy
first thing
was
his management said,
3.
man, that was crazy. You know, like it's crazy. I have never heard of him, Mo3.
Yeah, me either.
And that's one thing. That's his death and the way that the reactions was should be a whole cold reality check to any artist saying, I'm a nobody, I can't make it in my city, no one knows me, no one's paying attention, because I don't know anybody that was talking about Mo3 before his passing. I don't not remember not hearing one song.
Me either. At least with King Von, I'm like, okay, I know one. Like when he died, I was like, okay, I know one song. Like I'm hip to him. But like this other guy,
I mean, well, you see the difference between so look, King Von signed to OTF, who's under Empire Records, right? And you got Mo3 signed to Boosie.
Why did you say Boosie was shot?
Yeah, Boosie was shot.
After attending
Benny the Butcher just got shot. Rappers is getting shot, y'all. But it's the new niggas. But that Mo3
that's crazy. He died on the
Mo3. Yeah, Mo3 situation was so crazy because you see the reports that are coming out now that he was set up by a girl. Yes. TMZ, I'm gonna they say TMZ reported, and I can pull it up. You can pull it up probably over there.
I'm pulling it up right now.
He was set up by a girl, and the guys waited all night for him to come out. He didn't come out until that morning. And he realized they were following him, and they got in front of him and cut him off. Hopped out the car. He started running. They hopped out the car and started shooting. They shot him in the back of the head. When someone seen him get shot, they hopped out and shot the guys, and they were shot as well, but they did not die. So They performed CPR on him until the medics got there, but of course, to no avail.
Wow, they followed him to the gas station. He went on the highway.
This was clearly not a robbery. This was a hit. Clearly. Which, you know, like, I'm just trying to say, man, like, he signed with Empire Records, and this is what happens. And I don't want to put a bad name on Empire Records, but they got to do a better protection detail on their artists, man.
See, but my thing is, you know, I mean, do these niggas be knowing who they beefing with? Like,
yes. But you know what? You know what makes people feel invincible, right? Money. Money makes a person feel very invincible. They online, they talk about the big guns they got. They talk about everything they got. Now, if I was in the streets like that, rappers, if you get your money right and you investing in talking shit to people and being a fucking badass, your first purchase, and y'all can say Sixxcess said it, it should be a car with bulletproof windows and armor reinforcements. You should be riding around like the goddamn president. If a motherfucker take you out, they got to want it. They got to earn it. You know what I'm saying? They going out, I mean, like, it's no way in hell. They say that he couldn't get his gun out of his stash spot. It got stuck in the stash spot in his car. He had a spot that he stashed his gun.
03?
Yes.
I was trying to figure out why he got out the car and ran.
Because they blocked him off, and there was nowhere for him to go, and he couldn't get his gun out of his stash spot. So, like, it's amazing because Dallas is on fire with all the details on YouTube right now. I mean, it's like these niggas was there. There might be a transcript somewhere. That's how the shit going down. But, man, these artists gotta move smarter, man. They gotta move smarter. You gotta invest in the right things. Fuck a chain. You see 50 Cent, that nigga was beefing with everybody. He ain't even walk out the house without a bulletproof vest on.
That's true.
Then when he started getting money, he had the police with him. Mm-hmm. All while yelling, fuck the police. Mm-hmm. They were right there, making sure 50 don't die. You know? If there's an investment, I mean, but that's Isrc Code Records, protecting their investments. You know, taking care of their artists, same way they did for all their artists. You know?
That shit crazy. Like, I'm still shocked on how he could have been. I guess they say he was on the highway, driving on the highway, and like, you see your death coming. You see the person you beefing with coming to kill you, and there's really nothing you could do about it.
No, I mean, pride in a way, because there's a lot you could do about it. You got your damn cell phone, or maybe he don't. But there's a lot you can do about it. There's a thing called, my father said, fight or flight. My father is a psychopath. I already have expressed that to you guys. My father used to do scenarios with us. He says, this is what he said. He said, all right, K-Ron, what would you do? We right here in the car, and someone gets out, and they try to shoot you. I say, well, Dad, I'm gonna get out and run. He said, hell, if you is, you gonna run their ass over.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, he's like that. He's like, what do you do if you're getting choked out and you down to your last breath? I'm like, Dad, I don't know. What are you gonna do? You bite that motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know? He just going ham. You know? It's like he ain't. My father did not ask me, what do you do when the light bulb goes out? You know, it wasn't what do you do when you need to change your oil? How do you do that? You know, it was what do you do? You got 3 dudes running up on you, and it's you by yourself. You find a corner. You know, like that's how I was taught.
Yeah.
So like, I saw a dude post on Facebook, if you are 16, if you have kids 16 and don't know how to change tires and change oils and hang up a shelf, then you're failing as a parent. I told him he's an idiot and have a poor man's mentality, you know? So he got offended because I told him he had a poor man's mentality, I guess.
So at 16, you're supposed to know how to change a tire and what else now?
No, change a tire and hang up a shelf. And this was his standards was, this is how my dad taught me. And this guy, no disrespect to anyone living at home with their parents, but he lives at home with his parents. You know, and he's going through probably paying child support. You know, I mean, I'm just saying, like, he's out here talking crazy. Like he was raised 1,000%. I told him, I said, bro, I happen to know some other people who would strongly disagree with you. Mm-hmm. They would say the best things to teach your kids is taxes, banks, investments, stocks, things like that. You know?
Yeah.
You can always pay somebody to hang up your shelf, and it's roadside assistance in today's world, bro. I said, come on, man, teach your kids to run a business, to be entrepreneurs, to like be smart. Not the hang a shelf is not going to be the milestone of your parental.
I mean, but that could help. They could become a carpenter.
Hey, congratulations to the kid that wants to be a carpenter. You know what I'm saying? And it's your job. It's your job as a parent to encourage them to want to be a carpenter. You know what I'm saying? But if they want to be a carpenter, you best believe that they're going to hop on YouTube and learn how to put up a shelf because they want to be a carpenter. It's your job to teach them how to be a carpenter for themselves and to know how to invest their money right and to know how to never have to have somebody tell them, you ain't no damn carpenter, get a job. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just how the real, like, we have prime examples that our parents' ideology was not always 100. They did their best. But like I said, my parents raised me based on how they thought their future was going to be.
Right.
You know, because they thought it was going to be this way. And like me, I'm kind of, when I first had my oldest son, I didn't really even think about how I was going to raise my son. I just knew that I didn't want him to be like a statistic. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But as I started having my other sons and now my daughter, I'm starting to think about the world differently because my mental is different and I see the future differently. You know? So like my parents would always tell me, get off that game. Ain't no money in that. Mm-hmm. You know? And I'm like, Mom, I'm trying to be the number one ranked Madden player in the world. You know? But then my mom didn't understand. My friend would literally play in Madden tournaments and win $100,000 a year. Because he would win them. He would win these Madden tournaments and was making $100,000 a year waiting just for Madden tournaments. And by the time he was 18, he had already had a string of Corvettes.
Oh, wow. Playing a video game.
Playing Madden. And then when he got older and stopped playing video games, he invested in customizing Corvettes for a living. That's what he wanted to do. You know, so my mom wasn't having it. Plus it was one of him, 4 of us. So it was no way one of us, I guess, could sit on and play the game all day.
You'd be surprised about the things that our parents thought we could, like, was useless and worthless to even try doing, that people are actually millionaires and billionaires off of doing right now. Like, one of the main things that was frowned upon growing up is, you know, like, even females with females is prostituting or selling your body.
That's like, it's crazy because it's still frowned upon, but it's accepted. Like, I think that it became accepted when social media acknowledged that men are the alphas. We're gonna buy that shit no matter what. And now not we, because I ain't gonna buy nothing. You know what I'm saying? but men are buying this shit. Like, and for one, let's just be real. White men are buying the shit. So if white men buy it, and now white men are publicly acknowledging it, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man, this shit is crazy. It's crazy. If it was all black people, like on these joints, buying these joints, they would shut this shit down. They would call it porn, prostitution, and they would shut it down and be locking niggas up. But you got rich doctors, lawyers.
But you know what? I don't see it, probably because I don't be on Instagram. Like, I don't really see that many white women, like, just all day twerking and.
No. Listen, in slavery days, and I'm about to go deep right quick. In slavery days, they didn't pull their white women in the back and have sex with them. They made them white women go somewhere while they brought one of them nice black women out of the field that they've been looking at all day. They brought her in. They're not interested in white women. They're interested in black women. They've always been since the beginning of time. They was looking at the black women while they had rich white wives, and they were the slaves, and they still did not care. They were loving them, making babies with them, pride, bringing them in the house, and the white women had to accept it. And it's like that today. It's just now. Come on, we see it. They're putting them in a status to where it's not frowned upon. They're turning black women into damn near millionaires and shit. At least they're like,
fuck that.
Look, there are definitely white women that are trying it, but the white women are still the smart ones in the game. They're gonna start the agency. They're gonna start the agency and hire y'all. They're gonna fucking tell you get on their page to twerk and be a brand ambassador and shit like that.
Oh, there's a white girl that's cleaning up off of twerking. Like, I mean, her name is what, Nasty Nas or something like that. Like, when I'm telling you, and I love her videos, I can't even lie. Like, but she is making a killing off of twerking. Like,
it's crazy.
She makes it a sport though. She's not in a thong and a bra. And
like, I have to watch what my daughter watches because there's so much damn twerking going around. And my daughter loves TikTok, which is like my biggest fear because every time she grabs my phone, she just goes straight to TikTok. Like, she knows where it is. She closes out. She's like, TikTok. And I'm like, turn that shit off. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know why I got TikTok on my phone. Like,
hey, now that oh my gosh, my boyfriend is funny as shit. So he was telling me basically about, I forgot what jail it was. What fucking jail was it? But the prisoners are suing the jail or the COs for forcing them to listen to Baby Shark, Baby Shark, Grandma Shark,
all day.
For 3 hours, 3 or 4 hours.
That's torture though. Look though.
He said, he was like, you don't know how annoying it is because you don't have any nieces or nephews. He was like, but that joint on repeat, like, then he played it for me. And I didn't understand how bad it was. He was like, nah, for hours and hours.
Yeah. I've been on the brink, and I think that my wife has literally went crazy a few times with Baby Shark on repeat because my daughter loves that song. Me, I grab both earphones and I put them in my ear and I zone it out. Like, now I've gotten to the point where I kind of like know the words, the dances, and everything. So if there is a petition that we can sign to help those inmates get whatever they're suing for, I like to sign it because that is enough to make a person go fucking insane. I would lose my mind. 3 hours straight? No. And if it's not the dubstep edition, they definitely got a lawsuit because there's different editions. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
If it's not the dubstep party edition, there is a lawsuit to be had. If it's the just annoying regular version, I would like to sign that. Now, if it is the dubstep party edition, those inmates need to shut their potty mouths, and they should have enjoyed the party for 3 hours because that music on that one is lit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is awesome. So
I can't believe that is considered torture. Like, my boyfriend was looking at me like, "You evil bitch." I was like, I mean, but I don't see how that could be torture. All you got to do is zone it out. After a little bit, after some time, like, you just be like, you just zone it out. You just try to like it.
Let me tell you, like, I think that if you don't have kids, you don't understand the craziness of that song, because my cousin was here for the week in October, right? Mm-hmm. And my daughter, she's running around, baby shark, do, baby shark, right? So he comes to me, he said, "Yo, y'all taking the national games?" I said, "What the hell are you talking about?"
The national.
You know they do that at the Nationals game, baby shark. I said, "Boy, that's a damn whole song."
Oh, wow.
He said, "That's a whole song?" I say, "Hell yeah, and don't miss it around the baby. Because as soon as she hears it, she wants it."
He said, my boyfriend was like his little nephew. He was like, he just played a joint and they just start dancing and shit. He was like, kids love that fucking song.
Yeah, you want to see a kid zone out for a few hours. You gotta turn on Baby Shark. Give him the phone. Give him the phone.
Baby Shark.
I ain't gonna lie. Listen, look. You know the people that make that song. Do you know that song? So let me tell people that don't know, that song is a bad song. It was a scary song. It was a song to remind the Chinese kids that they could die by getting in the water because they had sharks in the water. So it was an alert song. But of course, the good old American way, we turn everything into a hit and a phenom. You know, we don't even hear the lyrics anymore in America. You know, me and my pops was talking about that, right? My mentor, we was talking about that. Shout out Jimmy. We were saying that if you could put whatever lyrics you want over a good, happy beat, a good, nice, happy beat, and you're gonna really come away with gold, certified gold.
Okay, why you say that?
It's just proven. The Star Spangled Banner is a horrible song, but when sung right, it sounds like a heroic song. It sounds triumphant, but it's a scary song. You know, it's talking about bombs going off and people dying while he's sitting there scared. These are his last words that he's writing and detailing what's happening in this war. You know, Stevie Wonder talks a lot about like sad times in the Black community and just upcoming and overcoming it and living through it. But that beat, it sounds so amazing that we don't even understand that he's telling us to like uprise and we can be happy and we can achieve things. We just dancing and partying.
Yeah,
we miss a lot with the music because like we listen to just the music, you know. So it's like when they asked me about the Busta Rhymes album, I'm like, could you do this? Could you rock out to it? Maybe, you know, maybe. You know, my question isn't if the Busta Rhymes album. My question wasn't if the Busta Rhymes album was good. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm now looking at things differently down here, right? Mm-hmm. My question was, I wonder what type of marketing promotional strategy were they using to promote this album? Because mind you, it's a 9-year-old album. It was done in like 2012.
This album that just came out?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I thought he said some of the songs he had for a while, but I didn't know this is like over.
You know, look. I know how Empire works, right? Especially with the old artists and artists in general. Empire is a distribution company. Mm. So what happens is you come to them with a project and they put a certain amount behind it for the rights to distribute that project, right? Mm. So now Busta Rhymes, who I don't know who he signed to, but I don't believe that he had a really good deal. I think he's caught up in the old head deals, You know, when they was getting all this stuff, Snatch, Masters, Publishing. And if he was with Def Jam, you know, Jay-Z allegedly gave everybody shit away for his.
That's fucked up.
That's Jay-Z. That's Jay-Z, but, you know, they say he did that. He did the Kanye. He added everybody's catalogs and to get the rights to his. And the crazy part is his catalog wasn't even worth that much before he did that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he made it worth that much because he understood the business and what to do with it. So now his catalog is priceless. You know, it's like, wow. But at first his catalog was probably worth maybe like $100 million. Maybe 200 million. Maybe. Because the label wasn't gonna do nothing with it. The label wasn't gonna do anything with it. You know what I'm saying? Nothing with it. That was Rockefeller stuff. They was gonna let that shit die in the dinosaur era. Just like they let everybody else shit die. What you see from Ja Rule and them niggas, you know what I'm saying? Nothing. And it ain't because of that lawsuit. Trust and believe me. It ain't because they can't make no more new music. Trust and believe me. And it ain't because they done. And they ain't got no juice and no flair because 50 Cent a bury. It's because 50 Cent bought all their publishing.
What? Nuh-uh. Get out of here.
Yeah, he did.
He bought all the who publishing?
Ja Rule's. Murder. He owned that music. He owned Ja Rule music. He owned Ja Rule catalog.
How?
Because he bought his publishing.
Why would he do something like that?
Because that's the best way to own a person, Jezebel, the truth. And that is the truth. If you own a person's publishing, you own that person. So now, imagine if Ja Rule had 10 more albums that he owed on that catalog. That means that everything that he drops still goes into that publishing catalog. That means that if he makes $1 million, he just made $50 million. You know what I'm saying? And what's crazy is what if he got like one of them deals where it's 50-50? Then he don't even make $1 million. He got to still split that. So I mean, like it's interesting how this joint work, man. That's why I'm trying to tell early artists, man. This game is getting.
Oh no, so that's why Ashanti's not even putting out no new music either. Because either she.
That's why they all about to run the empire. Listen to what I'm trying to tell y'all. If anybody, all these old artists are going to go to Empire Records because it's a distribution company that's putting the money behind the artists. You know what I'm saying? And
so what happens if they don't make the money back? Then the artists owe the distribution company?
See that? Let me tell you what's crazy.
What?
Let me tell you what's crazy, right? And I don't know, we got what? How much more time we got here? Okay. I'm gonna drop this bombshell for y'all. All artists listening. You always make the money back. The problem is, do you make enough to invest in your next one?
That makes sense. Because I was just thinking, like, all right, you get an old artist, like, let's say fucking Young Buck or somebody like that. Fat Joe. Let's use Fat Joe for instance.
Yeah.
And they put the money behind them for distribution or whatever, but a lot of people ain't really Fat Joe fans like that, you know. So let's say he don't sell it. He don't sell.
Matter. We're in the era now. We're in the era now, right? Where so we don't think of selling music like selling CDs anymore.
Okay.
Now you're selling internet. You know what I'm saying?
You're selling internet what?
You're selling the internet. You're selling your digital life right now, right? So what's one thing that can't be controlled? People on the internet. You know what I'm saying? So there's billions, trillions even of people on the internet.
Yeah.
There's people that's like this under a cover on the internet, so nobody know. There's people like this all day long on the internet, and they stumble across this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So all of these artists, every artist, every single stinking artist that's making money has themselves a marketing team and a search engine optimizer. So the fact of winning is never a question. Now the thing about it is, like, if I sign you and I give you 300,000, or if I give you $1 million, that means that. And again, like I said, if we're not going to even throw in the fact that if I sign publishing and all that shit, we're just going to throw in if I just give you $1 million and say, boom, here for this project, bam. Now, most artists think, okay, damn, I owe this money back. But no, you're never going to sign a one album deal.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And there's always going to be a stipulation to where, like, all right, you have to do an album, maybe you have to do 10 tracks on that album. You know what I'm saying? And those tracks have to reach 100,000 units. Well, it used to be 100,000 units, but now it's up to, like, now it's like almost 500,000 units that they want before they consider it a good deal. You know what I'm saying? So what they do is they put all these stipulations inside of that contract. So now you may hit on your album, and you may just hit that 500,000, or you may hit 488. You know what I'm saying? So now you're definitely going to come in there, like, as an artist, you're going to come in there like, I got my second album ready. We just did 400,000 units. We ready, but your contract is for 500,000 units. You know what I'm saying? So now you want to be paid an advancement, but you probably gotta do a whole nother tool, and now you gotta see, because you probably spent your budget from the first tour already. Now you got to see if they're willing to put you on another one so you can make this extra 100,000 real quick, so you can get these other 100,000 units on, or you can figure out a way to do it so that you can fulfill that obligation before you go. But a lot of artists don't do that. A lot of artists count on the second project to push the feedback from that, and then when they're back on their second album. But now with these new labels, they're making sure that doesn't happen anymore, because it's all the internet. They got little people with glasses on sitting in the room like this all day long. All day long. They're going to make their money back. So they're giving artists the money that they already know they're going to make, plus double. They're like, here, take this 10 million and we'll call you when it's time for the next album. Bet. Cool, right? And the artist is like, cool. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to put out the whole press run, and they're going to put the whole work behind it. And the artist going to wake up in the morning and say, oh my God, guys, I just got a platinum status album. And he's going to walk to the label with his tail between his legs, and he's going to take another 10, 20 million, because they don't give a damn. You feel me? Right. Because they know what you're going to do if you make 10 million or 20 million off an album that you thought that was sitting in your basement. You know what I'm saying? You're going to definitely sign to them for another one.
Right.
And they eat it. You know what I'm saying?
Makes sense.
Look, if you own an artist's publishing, that artist can make 10 million, but like, realistically, he get 10 million on that album. They making hundreds of millions of dollars on that one project, or on that whole catalog. There's some artists' catalogs that are worth close to, like, Michael Jackson's catalogs just sold for $750 million. Some say that's why he was really killed, for his catalog.
700 million?
750 million.
$750 million
for a catalog. So how much you think they're gonna make off that catalog? Double that, triple that, even. Because we are talking about white people who don't think of a bad investment. Like I said last week, they was able to turn Wale into a couple of $1 million, and he didn't even get to touch any of it.
He never got to touch any of it?
No, of course not. He owed money. He probably finally got a label deal where he can make his own decisions, but he's still in the same boat.
So how come I mean, does him and do you know if him or Shy Glizzy have their own like kind of label or something? Like, cause I'm trying to figure out why they not sign a DC artist.
Why? Okay, so I think we got time to talk about this. DMV artists do not get signed. Let's first answer your question. Shy Glizzy almost had a deal. He wrecked it. But Shy Glizzy gets paid $10,000 a show, so he's happy. Mm-hmm. Right? Wale was the very first artist to wreck a DC deal. But DC artists are getting deals. But it's the DC artists who understand the system. A lot of the DC artists do not understand the system.
I think 3-0 just got signed. I don't know.
He's signed with Caroline Records. But he's another artist that understands the system. 3-0 Block has a very good SEO team and marketing team. His team is awesome, even. You know what I'm saying? And they put a lot of money behind him. He got like one of those 6ix9ine type deals. You know, like they put that bag behind you. And trust me, they're going to make sure everything you do is lit as long as you do it on their schedule and their quarters. You feel me? And that's what we was talking about last week with your PROs, your ads caps, and your distribution schedules with whoever he's distributed by. I mean, he's distributed by. He's done a million streams on a single, so he's bringing in at least $4,000 to $5,000 off that one song. And, he's dropping them on the timeline where he could be bringing in 10, 20,000 a month on just his streams alone. Because like I said, remember what I want every artist to remember this. It's no longer selling your CDs in the back of a trunk. It's now selling the idea of clicks. If you can't generate those clicks, you have to provide a company, you have to pay a company that will generate those clicks for you. I hear a lot of artists say to me, I don't want to buy streams. I don't want to buy followers. And I look at them and I say, you're a damn idiot. It's not buying streams and buying followers. Who are you marketing this to? How many playlists are you getting on? You know? Yeah. And the thing about it is you look at people will look at a person like Rod Wave and say, damn, he has almost 100 million. You know what I'm saying? This and getting it. But this nigga has like 20 SEOs working on his projects. His label invests in that department because they understand that this is how your local Walmart, when you type in Walmart and you don't see walls, you know what I'm saying? Because they have a really good SEO. You type in Target and you don't see a bunch of Target practice stuff or a bunch of things that you shoot at. You know what I'm saying? You see the store because they have a very good SEO. You know, like of that matter, and when they're getting that magnitude, you type in McDonald's, you don't see the old man that had a farm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't, because he wasn't promoting that. He wasn't promoting this farm. But McDonald's was promoting that burger and that name. So that's the McDonald's that we know. You feel me? So I mean, like, it's just marketing. And some of these artists, like I said on this show a couple of weeks ago, it costs $200 million to create the greatest rapper alive, Lil Wayne. And I'm not saying that he's the greatest rapper alive. I'm saying that that's what the phrase that he used. And that phrase was bought for $200 million for him to claim that title and no one challenged it. And the reason why no one could challenge it is because no one had a $200 million budget behind them.
At that time.
Period. No one still don't. No one artist is getting a $200 million budget behind them. Because see, the thing about it is Lil Wayne's situation was a gamble. You know what I'm saying? Was like, we're all in. We trust this one guy. So we're giving up our whole investment. If he fails, we fail. You know what I'm saying? And his label believed in him that way. And they had $100 million.
Cash Money?
Yeah, Birdman and Cash Money. You know, they had $100 million in the bank. And they said, we're going to take all this $100 million and put it on Wayne. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And you know what Universal Records said?
We gonna match that.
They said, "Oh hell no, we matching that. Y'all ain't about to get all that money yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We want peace, you know. So we'll give y'all 100 million too. Let's make it 200 million. We got the whole Carter series. We got mixtapes after mixtapes. He was allotted to sit in the studio and do whatever he had to do. And these companies made sure that everything that he dropped was going to the rocket. I mean, this is right on the cusp of the digital era.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like they already knew. But
Even his little rock feature, I forgot who he did that feature with, but it was I think that was around that time too.
yeah, right around the time of digital was going into like play where you can start downloading stuff and
Yeah, he was
playing
doing
it.
a lot. He was doing a lot. I mean, at one point, like I've never really been a diehard Lil Wayne fan, but I tell you one thing, I did have a few of his mixtapes and a few of his albums.
Man, the thing
You
about it is
know,
like it's crazy because I
can't
have
deny
never
talent.
exactly, and I've never been a Lil Wayne fan, but I have downloaded everything he's put out except for the Carter 5. I didn't download that.
I got the Barter 5.
Is that even real? Oh, that isn't that
That's so disrespectful,
isn't that 21 Savage joint?
That's Young Thug. Remember when
Oh
Young
yeah,
Thug
Young
first came
Thug.
out?
Yes,
It was,
yes.
I think it's a Barter 6, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
no, but that joint was not the best work of Young Thug though. But that was but again, because it's always back to publishing though. You see what I'm saying? Because Lil Wayne, that $200 million did not go to Lil Wayne. That was made to own Lil Wayne. And because they was owning him, they was making sure that that's like a nice shiny car. They kept it clean. They made sure it had the nicest rims on it. They made sure that the tents was nice, you know, and yeah, hey, that's what they did. And it was the baddest car on the block. So no,
Yeah.
ain't no label right now about to put $100 million in an artist. Because you know what's gonna happen when they do? He's gonna retire. He's gonna quit. And he's gonna go into hiding. And he's gonna hold them hostage.
What do you mean he's gonna go on hire and hold them hostage? What does that mean?
He's never gonna give them albums. He's never gonna fulfill all that contract.
But he'll have the money up front.
Yeah, you don't ever lose the money. You just
So
can't drop anything. Like like let's say for instance that I give you $100 million on an album, and you say I'm rich. You know what I'm
and I
saying?
go buy all the cars and all the
You go
jewelry.
buy all the cars, all the jewelry, all the house, pay your taxes, and we're gonna be on your phone. You got that album? Where's the album? And you're gonna tell me it'll be ready. I got it. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. And the thing about it is, look, like you can go. You can be 80 years old and gone. You may drop the album one day. You may give it to him. You know what I'm saying? You may build your buzz up so much that you're already worth $100 million. You can invest in a whole new company to make you hundreds of millions, and then give them an album. Your status is so high that it doesn't even matter. You learned the game. You've already invested your money. Now you can get your own marketing teams and own SEOs to match them because now you took their money and invested in yourself. And now you say to them, I don't want to give you an album. Take your $100 million back, or not really, because it's never that easy. It's about publishing. You know what I'm saying? It's about marketing, and it's about the money that you make off of a project. So it's like we give you $100 million. That means that we own your publishing, we own your masters until it makes $100 million for us.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that you have to give us this or else chop your neck off. You know? I mean, that's why you get so many one-hit wonders. They retire with the money. And they understand that they can't never drop another song because they owe these labels an album or 2 albums or whatever. But they rich. So they like,
how do you feel about designer? People was like, what happened to the designer?
Genius.
And he was like, he's about to put out the best album alive.
He's never going to put out the best album anything. He's not.
Why not?
But the thing is, because he's not the best artist. He's a clone. He's a future clone. So as long as
that's still how I feel to this day. I'm like, I don't like for me, imitation is a, greatest form of flattery or whatever.
Yeah.
But however, people don't like, even with this drill music, right?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of to the, like, I listen to people music all day, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, some days I'm like, all right, let me just try to listen to it. But after a while, it's like when I start getting that like, it's like, I don't want to keep hearing the same thing over and over again, especially with the auto tunes. Like I'm auto tuned out. When you start sounding too whiny, like I'm already on to the next song. Like authenticity is what we need in a game, like not imitation.
I mean, like the crazy part is they gave Designer a bag. He was so rich. He probably make something when he run out of money, but I don't think he's going to drop nothing unless he got that coronavirus itch, because you know how they get in there. Everybody want to drop something because they can't tour, they can't do no shows, they get bored, and it's like it's easy right now to be forgotten, because these new dudes are dropping something every week. They like fuck COVID, you know what I'm saying? They dropping something new. They hitting the clubs, they hitting the show. They still kind of touring on the low, so it's like, damn, like these old dudes are like trying to drop stuff, and the thing about it is they're not caring about. Because right now the game is exposed in a whole nother manner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where the information that I'm talking about on this show, you had to be in a suit with the white guys in the office with the doors closed, because this type of stuff they don't want you to hear. But now it's kind of like, if you type in how do I get paid as an artist, it's on the internet. How do I start a publishing company? It's on the internet. How do I get my royalties? It's on the internet. So now with this type of information popping out, all of these artists are like, damn, I wanna do this. I wanna get some more royalties. I wanna start running up these. I got these rights. Let me see what I'm gonna do with them.
Right.
So it's like, bam, that's the game. It's exposed. So yeah, the older artists are about to start dropping old stuff, i.e. Busta Rhymes. They're about to get it all out. You know what I'm saying? Now, I told one of my friends, I said, what Busta Rhymes did was gave us an old album so that he can get a gauge. That was like a heat check. You feel me? But the reality of it is he has to understand that was Empire, not Busta Rhymes, while that album is doing the numbers that it's doing. But he won't, because he's Busta Rhymes. He's going to think that he did it. But what I hope that it does is get him in the studio to work on some new stuff, because I want to hear the next project. I don't want to hear the let me reach in this vault and see what I got for this new deal I'm about to sign.
Yeah.
Because that's the easy way out. So
when the older rappers come back out with stuff, sometimes it's like refreshing for me, because it's like, oh, we got this, like the fact that Juicy J was just on the song, I think.
But see, Juicy J reinvents himself so much. I love it.
But I've been listening to him for 20 years.
Yep.
20 years, like no cap, like real loud.
He does not sound the same way.
But forget that. Let's say Bun B. If I hear Bun B,
man. Don't do it. Don't do it, Jezebel. Please.
I love Bun B or Trick Daddy.
Oh, no.
Like, people that old.
Don't play a Trick Daddy CD. Do not do that, please. Please.
If they're on a feature.
Not on nothing. He should stick to Love and Hip Hop.
Trick Daddy, he's still good. Like, I just like when the older people come back out and they drop something and it's earworthy.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, as a fan, and that's what I was telling somebody about music. There's no such thing as bad music, guys. Everybody got to remember that. When I talk about what I don't like, I'm just talking about it as a humorist from a standpoint of broadcasting and talking on air to be opinionated, right? But don't get me wrong. I think that if you got a fan base, or if you got a budget or a plan, put your music out. I don't care if you there's a song called Not the Bangangs that's popping.
Not the Bangangs. Amara. What's her name? Tamara. The little woman. That's Amara's. She did a little TikTok joint to it where it was hot outside and she had her bangs and she was like, not the bang. But like
and they made it a song.
I don't know. I think it's. I just saw her clip. It was hilarious.
But like, that's what I'm saying. Like, we in a world where, I mean, like, Cardi B got a check for saying coronavirus. Yeah, it's getting real. You know what I'm saying? And they turned it into a song, threw a beat on it, and that joint was a check. Now, nobody gonna tell me that that's a hit song. You feel me? But she got paid as if it was. It didn't matter. So, like, artists out that joint, like, I'm trying to tell y'all, man, there's a new shift in the system. There's so much information out there. Drop your music. Producers, drop your beats. You know, it's a new day. I was so wrong last year when I was telling everybody, don't drop, hold it. Get yourself a budget. Get a budget. And like, somebody asked me, well, what do you do if you have a very small budget and you can't afford anything? Right? I have to tell you exactly what I told this lady. Quit. Because if you don't understand what I'm trying to tell you right now, you can generate money with nothing. All you have to do is understand. You get you a publishing company. I mean, take some time. If you don't have the money to get a publishing company, get your writer's company. It's $50. You need that. If you don't have money, BMI is free, but you need that. A lot of people join BMI because it's free. Me personally, I'm an ASCAP person. $50. But it's your choice. Reason why I tell everybody about BMI, because when you do the publishing side on BMI, it's $250 to own your publishing on BMI. It's $50 to own your publishing on ASCAP. $50 to own your publishing on ASCAP. $250 to own your publishing on BMI. If you are with BMI, you really ain't gonna make no money working with an ASCAP artist or ASCAP producer. And if you're with ASCAP, you really ain't gonna make no money working with a BMI producer or BMI artist. It's all about splits. It's all about shares.
But what if you got both? Hold on, isn't there a way
you can't have both? No, you can't have both. It's all social security number. It's based on your social security number.
So you can't have both. You have to have one or the other, and it's best to work with whoever's they got the same as you, pretty much.
All right, so yeah, I mean, like, put it like this: there's a lot of factors to play in the facts here when you choosing what's better. If you're brand new and, like I said, you don't have any money, by all means, go to BMI, register all your shows back 6 months, register your music, drop your music, run your streams up. I mean, like, tell all your friends, even if that just gets you 1,000 streams, 1,000 streams will get you at least one credit. One credit at $7.50. $7.50 performed at over 100 times. You do the math. You can still make good money. You just gotta put in your work, put in your time. Half y'all out here performing for free or paying $20 to perform. When you pay that $20 and when you perform for free, register those venues, register those shows. It's like doing your taxes. It's like filling out your time sheet. You let them know you was in the building, and then when your quarter's up, they do your dividends and you get paid. I.e., when you get paid, don't use that money, gentlemen, to go buy a dumbass chain. Ladies, don't ladies, don't buy that. Don't buy the purse, the Birkin bag, and all that dumb shit.
Chanel bag.
Put your money on your marketing, on your streaming, so that you can start generating that money every month. And now you're no longer generating money every quarter, you're generating money every month. And once you get on that wave, the question of do I have a budget or what your budget is no longer going to be a question. Now you can play games a little bit because you'll understand what your budget is and how money runs and how it comes in. You may can't play with the big boys. I mean, I'm not going to tell you that you're going to be able to compete with Atlantic Records. But what you are going to be able to do is compete with your local neighborhood friendly Spider-Man, and you're going to be able to keep on doing whatever you got to do. You may be able to quit that job that's keeping you from making more music and dropping more music and actually be making the same amount of money that you make at that job if you're doing everything right. And then hence, again, focusing on your music career because it's a career. So I do tell everyone, if you're still saying with all the information out there, I don't have a budget. I don't have any money for music. I'm not making any money from music. Then yeah, quit. Because there's too much information out there and you're not taking it serious. Get off the pot and jump into the pool.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, because I do come across a handful of artists who are not registered, and they don't know the first steps to getting registered as an artist. So, is that maybe a service or something, or a seminar that maybe you could have?
Yes.
And would you, and would the price be reasonable?
Yes, it will be. That is something that I am thinking about doing, and yes, the price will be reasonable. I actually do already offer that services to certain artists. I have several artists that I work with right now,
Okay.
and they all set their budgets at whatever. There's some artists that say, "Look, I can send you $50." You know, and me, what I do when they send me that $50, I set up their distro kit.
Mm-hmm.
I set up their distro kit, which is about $36. You know what I'm saying, something like that. And I get them ready if they send me like 60 something bucks. You know what I'm saying? Like I always put that money on that artist. Like I don't really look to make money off of artists. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people say that I'm the dumbest person in the world because I don't charge for services, you know, but I don't know how to charge helping a person make a living. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, there's some artists that I will not name, and you know these artists, but I have helped them, and they are doing over 1 million streams now, and they are pieces of shit. So the artists like that do make me feel like, okay, maybe I should charge you. You know what I'm saying? Because like I've helped them set up their ASCAP, help us, and now they won't even pick up the phone. They just rock stars, right?
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, it's always funny because I don't care if a person runs off on me. I'm not the plug. They say run off on the plug, right? But I don't care if a person runs off. I want to see you jump out the bird nest and fly.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I don't
Yeah.
want a nest crowded. I'm bipolar. So one minute I may like you, next minute I'm like, go. You know what I'm saying? Don't
Mm-hmm.
call me, right? But in the reality of things, I look at the game now like artists. It's so much that we gotta know. Like, and yeah, like if you want to know, I mean, like you tell me. I'm gonna tell you where to go. I'm gonna walk you through it. And if you can't get through it, yeah, you send me the money and I'll take care of it for you. You send me your
Yeah.
money, your name, and I'm gonna make sure that junk get popping. You know what I'm saying? Because like I want to see us all win. Because
Yeah.
it's not really. I thought it was a competition. You know what I'm saying? But it's not. It's a big ass pie that not one man can eat by itself. And even
Yeah.
if I was to cut off a slice, I still have enough out of that slice to share. You know? And I think that once we all understand how this game works, that it's a big ass pie. And every day someone's gonna put another pie on the table, even if you haven't eaten the pie from the day before.
Yeah.
You know?
That's a good way to look at it. Cause I was just like saying today, like fuck people. Like I ain't really like fuck people for real, for real.
Except the
If
people
you not an
listening. Except the people
artist,
listening.
if you're not an artist, like more so, and I'm not talking about like just people in general. I'm talking about like in this industry. Like if you're not an artist, or I don't see that you really out here really trying to help the artist instead of scam the artist. Like I'm not interested in doing nothing, working with you. Like it's a waste of my time because I know where my heart and I know what my mission and my goal is, and I
But like
don't.
it's crazy, Jezebel, because it's artists signing to managers
Mm-hmm.
and fake record labels. And anybody listening right now, I'm not talking about you.
Right.
So let's just clear the air. But
Mm-hmm.
they're signing with fake labels and fake management because of their desire to be somewhere. And the reality of it is that the laziness of it is beyond me. You know, I don't really talk to too many artists nowadays. I talk
Mm-hmm.
to a lot of labels, managers, things like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I this one label, he was telling me about these 3 artists that he signed. And I was listening to it because I didn't hear the part where he was telling me that he had locked in or secured a publishing, situation. And I didn't hear the part where he was talking about how he was going to make sure that these artists get paid because he hadn't secured any marketing or any promotion for these artists, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I asked him, I said, well, what's your plans? And it's like, we're going to drop music. And then they started dropping links on top of this shit, and they like signed the United Masters and shit like that. So I'm like, all right, I pushed him to the side. It's like you can't take this shit here serious. You feel me? It's like, what's happening here?
Yeah.
I had an artist that I tried to sign last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was really trying to sign this artist, heavy. I was picking the artists up for shows. I was getting them booked on shows. Like, I was like trying to really be impressive. I'm like helping them get their paperwork together. And this artist went and signed with someone else and says to me, man, they about to have me popping. They about to have me on. And I said, that's what I said, right? Like that, right?
I thought your screen froze. I'm like, wait, what happened?
That's what I said. That's how I was. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So here it is. Fast forward now, because this was in December that they went off and signed with someone else, right? Fast forward, here we are now in November. Bad deal. Bad deal alert. Bad deal alert. Six, help me get out of this. Please. You know what I'm saying? And
the bed lay in it.
I said, man, how did you sign shit like this? You know what I'm saying? And I look at the artists that's in this situation with this label, and I'm like, how do y'all sign stuff like this? I mean, you could do this for yourself. Now you got what? For what? I get everybody wants a team. Everybody has to start somewhere. You know what I'm saying? But it's two places that you cannot risk when you're starting somewhere. Signing a contract and signing away your rights. You can't risk that with somebody just starting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, what is the reality of that? It's their come up.
Yeah.
And they need you. You artists, like, hold out, get the knowledge of people, you know what I'm saying? Get the knowledge of things and take the opportunities on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't sign a piece of paper for somebody that's about to give you $10,000, man. I know the shit hard. I know the shit.
People be needing that money up front, though.
Look, young, like trust me, young. I get it. But you have to get it as an artist. You know what I'm saying? Like a person that no one is just giving you $10,000. And the thing about it is, if a person is willing to give you 10, they'll give you 20. If they give you 20, they'll give you 30. So go up, because somebody will always give you what you're worth.
Yeah.
And reality is, if you get the knowledge, you'll learn that it's no such thing as what it's worth. Because what did I just say? Michael Jackson never sold his catalog, which now we know was worth $750 million at least. Michael Jackson probably would have negotiated $1 billion for it, though.
So when you say catalog, you mean everything that the artist has made, right?
Yes, all the music that the artist owns. It's not necessarily made, because what ends up happening is Michael Jackson actually owned the Beatles catalog as well, and a few other artists that were under Sony Records. He owned their catalogs as well.
Oh, okay.
So it's all the music that you own. And what I say own is like, so if someone says, I want this song in a video or in a movie, they got to call you. You get the check. When someone says, oh, this song did 500,000 streams this month, you get the check. You know, when royalties are paid out for publishing on that song's credits, if it gets played on the radio, if it gets played at a show, if a DJ uses it when he's DJing that night at the club, that publisher who owns it is getting paid. This is called residual income that never stops coming in, even when you're dead. This money still is being generated. You see what I'm saying? So Now we talk about an artist that says, "I'll sell my cat. I'll give it away for $10,000."
Mm-hmm.
You already know that this person that you're giving it to has no clue what to do with it.
Yeah.
He just heard that, oh, you can own catalogs. He's
Mm-hmm.
probably a catalog shark. Those people exist, guys. There are catalog sharks. You know what I'm saying? And a catalog shark is a person that will buy your catalog to sell your catalog because they know how much the catalog is actually worth. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They'll pay you 10K for it, sell that bitch for 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 so fast. And actually, let me just give you the blunt reality of it is because you guys do think that they're going to try to sell your stuff, but they're not. They're going to actually wait until they're actually hoping that you keep working and that you get popular enough that someone comes along and say, hey, I want to really sign you. And then while they're in there negotiating that deal, they're going to say, are you signed with anybody else? And that's when you got to talk about that jerk contract that you signed 3 years ago and the person you haven't even seen.
Yeah.
And now he's in there talking about, I want my 30%. You know, and he did nothing. Nothing, not a damn thing. Because he couldn't, you know? Because
Yeah.
like that's just not how things work. But he's a publishing shark. So y'all gotta watch out for those people, man. Watch out for those people. And you can become your own publishing shark with ASCAP for $50 and BMI $250, and you eat your own money. You know what I'm saying? So artists, take some time, man. Listen to what I'm saying. I know it's about that time. It's about 6:30. So yes, I want y'all to do y'all research. Get y'all ASCAPs, y'all BMIs, and I'm gonna tell y'all next week what to do with those ASCAPs and BMIs because there's a lot of things that you do need to know. And Jezebel, we need to get together and think about that seminar. See what artists want to sign up and what we can call that. You know, like
Yeah.
balls being
You talk about getting them registered, right?
yeah, getting registered, learning how to like get their music out there and marketing and all that stuff. Like we could do a real good seminar for that. That'd be good. Stream y'all edition.
What else was I was going to ask you something else about that, but I think I could save that for next time because you were saying a BMI and an ASCAP, but at first you said BMI is free to sign up, but then $250 for publishing, and then ASCAP is $50 to sign up, and then
Yeah, it's 50 for writers and 50 for publishing.
Okay.
BMI so is free for writers and $250 for publishing.
And you can't have both. Those are things that people don't really, you know what I'm saying, aren't really.
Yeah, because a lot of artists will tell you, well, not a lot, only a few, there's a few idiots that will say I got both and will be real adamant about it, that they have both. And the thing that I want to tell every artist that has somehow manipulated the system to get both, you're an idiot and you're not going to get paid. And the reason why you're not going to get paid is because your music can only be registered to one person. They're not going to cut out 2 checks. And when they see a discrepancy of 2 checks, they always go with the latter and don't cut one. They just cut none at all. So money will be sitting there unclaimed because there'll be too many claims to it and they won't pay out. Also, when you register a song, when you register the title, you also have to register this thing called the Isrc code. When you register that Isrc code, it won't allow you to it won't allow everyone, whoever owns the rights to it is going to always own the rights to that song. So there's a lot of things that when they go to pay out, whoever has first credentials on that song is going to get paid first. It's never going to go to both people, both parties. And the biggest thing is because a lot of people that do have two, they're old, like in their 50s. They joined ASCAP in the 70s and BMI in the 80s and 90s when it was all paper. You know what I'm saying? But now, no, there's no way you can join it because it's all based on your social security number.
Okay. We definitely have to talk more about that seminar. That's going to be a great addition to everything. How's everything going as far as the tour? You got ears over here like, what's up with that? What's up with the tour, man? What's up with the tour?
Yeah, man, like everything going according to plan. Like, what's hilarious is we got to see what Biden is gonna do now, right? Because Trump was about to open us all up. Trump was about to give the whole world COVID, y'all. He said, "Fuck it, I had it. They gonna get it." He was about to open up this world, but Biden is saying that the world is about to go back down in lockdown. So we're gonna see, guys. We're gonna see. I'm gonna definitely keep everybody posted on that stuff. The new single is definitely dropping tomorrow, though.
Okay.
Zone will be available at midnight for everybody. Zone will be available. It's crazy because I've been getting mixed reviews on Zone, right? And do you have people whose opinions you value, and then there's people whose opinions you just want to hear what they're gonna say?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I'm getting at now. So I'm gonna talk about that, you know. Yeah. And of course, before I wrap this up, I gotta let you guys know what I'm hearing going down on St. Barnabas Road, y'all. Now, my man been going on St. Barnabas Road now for about 2-3 years. He used to come to holler at me. He's can't let me see what he got from on St. Barnabas Road, and it was always good. It was even so good that I even referred a guy to go on St. Barnabas Road when I got down here in Atlanta, right? Well, I have to stop giving referrals on St. Barnabas Road for now. St. Barnabas Road has been giving out the huff. One of my friends said that he felt as though it was Reggie. He didn't see any seeds, so it might have been CBD. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, I ain't a big Huff guy because I don't like it. I can tell Huff a mile away. But there's some people now who are just doing the whole grab designer bag and roll. Y'all can't keep putting these damn labels on these designer bags and knowing it's CBD. That is against the law.
It is.
So, if you know your shit is 1% THC level, let a nigga know. Don't lower the price and don't tell them you're giving them a deal. Just don't give them the shit at all. Nobody wants to smoke 10 J's of CBD. Nobody. So, St. Barnabas Road, you are on the Huffington Post report for this week. And I will be keeping my ear to the streets until y'all do better by me and my peeps. Y'all are on notice. So, stay on St. Barnabas Road. They got a lot of huff. Did they open up the pop-ups back down there yet?
The what?
The pop-up shops.
I don't know. I haven't gotten any.
Man, Atlanta don't have none. But I did get word that White Runs will be here this week, so I will let y'all know how that White Runs crusade goes on Monday. Hopefully, y'all, on Monday, I will be smoking some of the Atlanta edition of White Runs. I haven't had White Runs down here yet, so I'm super excited to try it. I know the DMV White Runs is hitting on, but yeah.
Well, that means sounds like you got it all planned out pretty much. I never go over St. Barnabas Road, but I'll definitely be staying away from there until we get another Huffington Post update. I must say, though, Capitol Heights, Forestville, I have been getting some fire out there. So, yeah, it all depends on who you know, pretty much.
Just stay off here on my drive in Forestville, because they give out little dime bags like that.
Oh, no. But I definitely came across some Huff. They called it something purple. I didn't buy it.
Everything purple these days is starting. You got to watch it. They're dying those things. They're dying them.
Even still with the purple, I just think it's as soon as you tell me it's purple, I'm like, nah, I'm good. Like
Yeah,
because it's
don't offer
really
me
bush.
granddaddy perk.
It's really bush that's brown, but you could pass it for purple. Like, so
Yeah, yeah.
I'm good.
Hey,
I'm
look, look,
good.
look. You getting hip? Look at her. Look. Hey, she learning. She is getting hip now. She like, y'all lunching. That ain't
Yeah,
purple. That's dirple.
yeah, definitely. But yeah, keep on cheaping on this good stuff though. Most
Yeah, I
definitely.
will. I'm gonna go back up. I'm gonna go ahead and roll me up something now. I know at this time y'all are flicking off your ashes,
Shit,
putting those roaches away.
wow.
And some of y'all have already rolled up your second J because we done went into the hour and a half mark. I know I would have.
I
So
didn't even notice.
do those things, y'all. Roll one for me. Keep those roaches. I know a couple weeks ago I told y'all throw them out, but y'all keep them. No, keep them.
Re-rolling
Save
them.
them. Yeah, man. Re-roll them. Do your thing. I'm just changing my whole tune now, guys. I am learning so much here in Atlanta. So I'll see y'all next Monday. Jezebel the Truth.
Thank you.
I'm
Sixxcess.
your boy Sixxcess. We out.
All right. Have a great evening, guys. Thanks for watching. That was fun, guys.